E3 2016, it has not been, I would certainly say. We got Xbox coming up here in about 4 minutes. I think this has been the presentation where the most things have leaked in advance. Persona 4 Remake almost certainly getting revealed here. Little Nightmares, like remaster or new console patch or some Little Nightmares related thing coming to this. So we've had those leaks. What are the meme games for Microsoft? What are the things that keep coming up for them? Perfect Dark, Fable, Gears of War. Although Gears of War wasn't revealed that long ago. Perfect Dark is one that was announced like 6 years ago, and then it went dark, and then they re-revealed it, I think, just last year. And then it kind of went a little bit quiet again. Fable, I believe they showed earlier this year, and they announced that it was pushed. So I don't think we'll see Fable today. I think they're kind of like, we gave you a Fable update. Is it time for Gears? Will we see a bit of Gears? You know what? Actually, they've got that Gears 1 remake that is coming to PlayStation 5 and other systems. They announced that formally. They kind of unceremoniously tweeted out that it was coming. So they could show that. I mean, again, it's Gears 1, right? So it's not gonna be mind-blowing footage, but you can show that. They could show a Crackdown. I mean, yeah, Crackdown's one of those games that's firmly especially after 3, it's firmly in the category of it's not a real shock and awe difference maker, but they don't need those anymore. Do you know what I mean? That day was past. I think the January Xbox Direct we watched was a lot of fun, and that was pretty much just a lot of feel good stuff that just a bunch of solid looking video games, you know. Yeah, and so I don't think we're going to see anything for Elder Scrolls. Looking in the chat here for some inspiration. They're all just memeing. Silk Song getting mentioned a million times in the YouTube chat, of course. By the way, I forgot to do it last night, so let me make mention right here. Our next Thursday evening game, that's going to be up to a poll on the Discord. All right? So you want to be on the Discord to join in. 2 options. Okay? And those 2 options are Donkey Kong Country Returns, which I believe we had on a poll previously and it came very close and it lost. Okay? Donkey Kong Country Returns for the Wii. Okay? And the original Hitman for the personal computer. Those are your games for post Half-Life 2. So I'll post that on the Discord after this stream, which is just about to get started here, I believe. There's our chat going crazy there. Let's open this up here. So yeah, I will post that on the Discord shortly after this stream. Half-Life is not finished yet. This is for post. This is for post Half-Life. We are about like I don't know, but based on a chapter list I saw, I think there's maybe 2 episodes left of Half-Life. I'm not certain. No kids, by the way. 18, 18, 18. Peggy 18. Yeah, I think Summer Games Fest has been pretty bad so far. Okay, this is Outer Worlds 2. After this Direct, they are doing a dedicated Outer Worlds 2 stream. I have to finish up at 8, so I will not be watching this Outer Worlds thing, but for you Outer Worlds heads, it will be there.
To spread freedom and liberate resources for profit. But this pesky Earth Directorate agent is mucking things up. They're not alone in doing so. And they think they can just choose how things
mouse and keyboard for Hitman, yes.
They could stop us from stealing the Protectorate's brainwashing technology.
And I will be playing the PC version, not the PS2 port or any of that other stuff.
What if this stranger aligned with the Order and that world computer of theirs? That could be the key
Outer
to
Worlds
closing
2 and a lot of Obsidian games, I think these are things that
You see why this menace must be wiped from the face of existence.
well, that's kind of cool.
Or better yet,
I mean, we're seeing some cool weapons here. I feel like this is a thing that doesn't really trailer super well. Because, like, an Obsidian game, you want to be in that world. You want to see the stories unfolding.
and buy our way to victory.
You want to interact with the characters. You know, it's not really sick gunplay in a trailer that comes off. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know how long it is, but after the main Xbox thing, yeah, they're going to be doing I think a fairly extensive showcase of this game. This Outer Worlds 2, that might be the big winter game for Xbox, which is kind of crazy to think about. Now they've had a very good first half of the year, January through June. They've had a very good year so far, but it is increasingly feeling like Christmas and autumn in general and winter are not that big a deal for video game releases anymore. They're just not. You know? Well, you know, counter to the point I was just making, there was some cool stuff in that trailer. There was some fun weapons.
An adventure made for capitalism by capitalism.
PS5 logo right there in the
and egos by staying
in the
tuned
graphic.
after
That's
the
just, you
showcase.
know. Because the funny thing is, previously when they'd be publishing things on multiple platforms, even on the PlayStation stream on Wednesday, there was stuff on that stream that will be coming to Xbox, but the logo wasn't there. Now Xbox, they've just made their peace with being a publisher. You know.
I'm sorry. I've just been so depressed lately.
No Switch 2.
You know, it would fix everything. Humans oppressed.
Is this High on Life? A High on Life DLC? Yes. Not right. Fake gameplay, by the way. Oh, is this actually this looks like it might be a full-on sequel. Yeah, we were doing a playthrough of that first game literally when the Royland news broke. I finished the stream and Zig posted in the chat. He was like, I didn't want to say it while you were in the middle of playing, but that's going down right now. And I was like, oh shit. And the funny thing is, I didn't, like, you know, there are lots of shitty people involved in games, but I didn't really feel like finishing that playthrough because, like, he's so all over that game, you know.
And their brains are like half the size of ours.
Yeah, so I would imagine this is going to be a standalone sequel where he's not involved. No Switch 2 again. PS5, Steam, Epic Store, and a day one Game Pass game. Okay. I will freely admit, and the videos are still on you. I thought I like High on Life. I did think it was funny. I laughed a lot. I think the thing about Switch 2 though is I think a lot of third-party developers are just playing the wait-and-see game. Because the Switch obviously had a ton of third-party support, people squeezing their games onto Switch that really shouldn't have been there. No Man's Sky, Ark Survival, stuff like that. But as big as Nintendo is, every generation, a lot of publishers play the waiting game. They're like, let's see. let's see if this is worth the effort. Like a game like High on Life, you know, if it's exclusively on Xbox Series consoles and PS5 and PC, that means they can aim for a certain hardware threshold. And it's like, is it worth the effort of making a lower tier version for the Switch? If the Switch sells 70 million units, then yes. If it doesn't, then it probably wouldn't be worth bothering. This does look like a Plague Tale thing. Except for that. I haven't played those games, but they don't have, like... No, yeah. Oh, no, it is! It is? Okay, wow. Again... PS5 right there. Although, again, they don't publish that, I guess, so it doesn't matter. Okay. We're non-stop. Everything is day one on Game Pass so far. I own both of the Plague Tale games. I want to play. They're very mild. Like, I love a like a narrative, like a linear narrative focused thing, you know. Yeah, I would say, as I was saying just before this started, this feels like the most. Are they doing a handheld right here? Oh, is this the Asus thing? I believe the news during the week was that they are abandoning the idea of making their own handheld, but they are basically putting their branding on an Asus handheld. I was not cranky. I was like the fucking Keighley show fucking stank. What? That's not me. Okay, let's... Silk Song, there it is! Alright, native games and cloud games, okay. You knew cloud was going to be a big part of this. Dude, they are really drawing attention to Silk Song on this. Freedom of Windows, power of Xbox, okay. Dude, there's a lot of Silk Song in this. Are they going to segue into a Silk Song trailer? The ROG Xbox Ally. Okay, 240. Okay, I'm going to have to take a look at them specs afterwards. Okay.
At Xbox, we strive to put the player first. And that's what you've seen from us over the years.
Yeah, so they're not abandoning making their own handheld, but yeah, as Novelty X says in the chat,
we deliver Game Pass.
The story going around is that they want to make Windows work better on handhelds, which
how can we give you
I have not gone hands-on with a Windows Steam Deck competitor, but by all accounts, it's still not ready for prime time.
No matter where you buy or play. So we're building an Xbox experience
Asus and the ROG Ally, that is the most successful Steam Deck competitor so far.
The Xbox Ally is an Xbox you can hold in your hands, bringing together the power of Xbox and the freedom of Windows. On this Xbox, you can play games across your entire library, including all the Windows PC game stores, from Xbox and Battle.net to Steam, GOG, and Ubisoft Connect. And the highly anticipated Hollow Knight Silk Song will be available at launch and in Game Pass when the Ally releases later this year. In fact, every new game you see in today's show will be playable on the Xbox Ally.
So is this how we get more Silk Song?
We have always wanted you to have the unique experience of Xbox.
So
on
the closest we've gotten to a Silk Song release date is it will be available the same day as this piece of hardware, but this piece of hardware also does not have a release date. Brother, when is this video game coming out? No, don't give me a period. Give me a day. When is this video game available?
And every new game you see in today's show, from our partners and our studios, is Xbox Play Anywhere. And because it's Xbox, you can always have access to Game Pass, with a diverse lineup of games from the biggest franchises to critically acclaimed indie hits. This is the freedom we believe players
showing Indiana Jones there
have.
when they said indie hits.
Any
very,
game,
very cute.
Anywhere.
Very cute.
And we are giving it our all every day to make this vision real. But it all comes back to the games. From Dead to Rights on the original Xbox,
they must be confident Silk Song is coming this year if they tied it so much to this thing which is coming out this year. Memes aside, they must be like it's basically done. It must be basically done.
From Rebel Wolf Studio This is a story-rich action RPG steeped in dark fantasy.
I am
that
very
can't
interested
wait for you to
that
explore.
handheld is the most interesting
Thank
thing
you,
that's been
and
announced
enjoy
this
the rest
entire
of the show.
week of stream so far. I've been saying it non-stop basically since I got the Steam Deck, but the handhelds are way more interesting than almost any other frontier of game console tech at the moment. I think I saw from that little graphic that was up, it's the new Ryzen Z2 chip, which is kind of considered like, you know, the next big generational leap.
Monsters have always been here.
I think the ROG Ally, the original ROG Ally,
Watching from the shadows.
ROG Ally has a Z1, I believe.
When we were at our weakest, they came out.
They didn't address Royland one way or the other, but I believe when all that
We
happened
feared
with
for our
him,
lives.
he was ousted from that studio.
We should have
He
feared for our
left.
souls
He was ousted
instead.
from basically every thing he was involved in when that happened. Like
The vampires didn't come to
that
kill
studio
us.
came out and said he's not with us anymore.
They came to rule. To turn us into mindless, docile cattle. Not me, though. They tried to change me into one of them. But I became something else instead. Their worst nightmare.
Doing a High on Life trailer before the Xbox. Well, I'm surprised they didn't open or finish with the Xbox. I guess it's not an Xbox hand. I mean, but it is though. It's got Xbox in the name.
Fighting to even the score.
I guess the key thing is that it's not made by Microsoft. I guess is the big.
The evil behind it all. He is out there watching, seeping into you.
So yeah, by all accounts, they were working on a handheld. They still want to put out a handheld, but they were like, Windows 11 needs to be better on these handhelds. And so there was a Asus partnered device that they've apparently been working on for ages. This will be the third ROG device, Ally. I guess ROG is their generic gaming brand. That looks like every video game ever. Ally is Asus's handheld brand, and they put out one a couple of years ago that was received very mixed. They put out a sequel just like a couple of months ago, didn't they? I'm pretty sure. And it looks like it had very similar specs to this Xbox One that's coming out. Kind of seems like this Xbox One, the hook with it is just going to be that it's going to lean heavily into Game Pass stuff, and you know. Is that? I thought Super Mario was about to jump out of that fucking pipe. Is this a three-dimensional Meat Boy? Oh my fucking god. No way. No. Oh my. The Mad Lads are doing it. You are messing. Oh my fucking god. Dude, what the fuck? Oh my god, this looks so good.
Super Meat Boy 3D!
And just calling it Super Meat Boy 3D, let's fucking go! Oh my god, that looks so good. I hope they got Danny B back for the soundtrack. That sounded a bit like him there on the music in the trailer. It really sucks. I think every console version of Meat Boy, I think only the PC version has the original Danny B soundtrack. He had some kind of falling out with them. I don't know if it was about money or rights or whatever, but the Danny B soundtrack is not in the console versions of that original Super Meat Boy game, which is a real shame.
Breaking the Dark Dragon free has its consequences.
I have never finished I fucking adore the original Meat Boy. I've never finished it. It's really hard. Oh, we should do that on stream at some point. I'll embarrass myself playing some Meat Boy for a while on stream.
This is it.
Sayori.
Ryu, there's something I need your help with.
I think I mentioned it a few. Was it earlier this week or maybe last week? I mentioned it on a recent stream. I did play and finish the Ninja Gaiden 2 remake that they released earlier this year. I did not like it at all. Now, to be fair, I think I just realized I don't really like these games. It's not that the remake was bad or anything. I think it's just this is not my type of hack and slash kind of character action game. So that made me significantly less interested in this one, which is what, 5, is it?
The Dark Dragon is mine.
4. Yeah, it's one of it's one of those games, and you know what? I think if you like them, you probably loved it. It's not for me. Let me know if pricing hits for those handhelds, by the way, while we're streaming here. I'd say it probably won't, but bit of DLC. I'll play some more of this.
Here we go.
Good luck, Indy.
What are you doing, Jones? Are you crazy?
This is where it starts. Beneath the streets of Rome. Enter the city of Antioch. Find a secret relic. Bring it back to the Holy See. Defend the secret. They worshipped the giants.
So it is deal. I was wondering, are they going to go a full new game there? But when he mentioned Rome, I was like, okay, that's still, they're gonna build on an existing map. I would say very early, but with the Game Pass integration, would you be tempted to jump from there? Yeah, here's the thing. I probably won't buy another one of those handhelds until you know what? When the next Steam Deck comes out, I will then weigh up the options.
World premiere.
You know, being able to natively play Game Pass games, that is the sincerely one thing the deck doesn't have. I'm the biggest Steam Deck blazer in the world, but at the end of the day, only being able to stream Game Pass games on it is the one thing it's missing. But I absolutely don't want to faff around with Windows on one of those handhelds. The thing about those high-end ones, I have a million little cheap... what? Game Freak? Game Freak are like, no, we can make a game that looks good. We just choose not to when we're making Pokemon. Can you play GOG games on the deck? Yes. The thing to remember with a Steam Deck is just that it's a PC. So it can play, but it's Linux-based. So it can play absolutely everything. Game Pass, what are those apps called? What are the Game Pass apps called? They're like, is it the some Windows proprietary thing that means you just can't install them on Linux. You don't need to install the GOG launcher on deck. There is a dedicated thing you can install. It's without getting bogged down in that. But the answer is yes, and you don't need to download the GOG launcher. It's I have played multiple GOG and Epic Store games on the deck. That looks but yeah, so my initial reaction would be that I would probably stick to the deck.
The glittering streets.
But if the Steam Deck 2 comes out and people are like, it's more of the same. And if these Windows handhelds get a lot better, I would have no hesitation to switch.
Here's the plan.
The deck also has tremendous, like, the physical build quality on it is awesome.
Life here ain't for the soft-hearted.
You will be paying me back until you fucking rust.
It ain't for the spineless.
Keep your filthy pickers off me!
And as sure as shite ain't for the decent.
That's a clean sweep for one.
This is like a faux bio. The knob. This is Is this the clockwork something or other? It's called. We've seen this before, I think.
Lord Griswick.
Yes, I got that part. Do you know anyone who might wish you
This is kind of cool. Clockwork Revolution, yeah. And it's one of those, like, isn't it one of those, we've got, like, 2 people who work on Bioshock working with us games. It's one of the 70 fake Bioshocks that's been in development for 10 years, I think.
They were, trust your instincts, sir. Tall. Yes, sir. Built rather slim, well, muscular. Mm-hmm. Was very quick.
Oh, that's a nice looking skill tree.
Go on. With a mustache. No, larger. I see. Quite fashionable. That's the fiend who robbed me.
They got my good side.
Oh, this is the Bard's Tale people.
Breaking in is the easy part.
Am I thinking of Judas, which we have also not seen in like a year and a half, 2 years?
Getting away with it is the real trick.
These candlesticks ain't gold. Worthless and dull, just like you. Nah, I have a customer.
Those faces
How
are
can I
pretty
help you?
I'd rather talk to you, Errol. Sounds like I'll get a better deal.
You talk to me first, and him never. Got it?
Uncle's a bit touchy, ain't he, Errol?
Touchy? I say I'm touchy. There.
No,
Anything
Errol.
else you'd care to say to Errol? Brains. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed it.
Round here, it's all sharp edges, empty pockets, and blood on the cobbles. Goodbye, Silas.
No, no! I'll hurt you, you fucking meatsack! I'll leave you with a pissing bed of pieces!
You'd either got a gang at your back, or a knife in it.
We're family here. Family takes care of its own.
Can't put a price on that, can you?
Them's in charge.
This is like a very long tone piece. You know what I mean?
Take this thing into the crucible and melt it.
They just want us beaten, broken, and too scared to fight back.
I don't want to kill him!
That's why it pays to be clever and well-armed.
Jeez.
Let's go and end a few arguments. Don't get cocky. They've got a weapon far worse. Time.
Man, they are going for it with this trailer.
They
Wait.
can rewrite us.
Whoa. Okay. Oh wow.
Look who
Okay.
just found Mummy's keys. Now I can fiddle with time. Put the bullet back in the barrel. Bring the chaos to a crawl. Take a mistake and make it like it never happened. We can change the world as we know it.
Okay. I want to know more about like
And I can even
is
go
this
back and
dynamic
change
or is
the
that part of the
past.
story that they completely
Change the
changed
future.
like the world?
And let me tell you, the hunters don't like it when the rabbits.
There's like
got the
2
gun.
time manipulation things going on. There's like gameplay time travel, and then there's also like the antagonists can like change what timeline you're in or stuff like that. Gameplay looks like they're kind of evoking, you know, Dishonored-ish. Wow, okay. That was a long drive. That must be we must get in a date on this, surely.
Now let
Coming- no, I
me
guess not.
alone and piss off!
I mean, yeah, the dialogue was a bit like, you know, a bit much. That looked awesome. That looked really cool. That looked really
Our
cool.
creative teams are dedicated to bringing
King!
players award-winning, record-breaking,
Candy
critically
Crush
acclaimed
2,
games.
folks.
Call of Duty, Black Ops 6 from Activision, Doom: The Dark Ages from Bethesda.
Yeah, dude, having a
Diablo
trailer that
4,
long with no
Vessel of
date is a
Hatred
bit.
from
I mean,
Blizzard,
at least they showed a bunch
and
of stuff.
Avowed
But
from Xbox Game Studios.
come on now.
All of our teams across Xbox first party
Matt Booty, what are you doing,
shipping
brother?
their most played games ever, and they're also delivering more content than ever before.
I love
From
content.
original single-player experiences to vast online worlds, our teams are empowered to build the games they've always
Will
dreamed of.
there be a thing here
We
where
want
we
our
have to sit
players
through
to
like
have the
5 minutes
choice
of
and
a Call of Duty
flexibility
reveal?
of where and how they play the games our teams make. So of course, our games will be available day one in Game Pass, and every new game we make for both Xbox consoles and PC will be Xbox Play Anywhere. On behalf of our creative teams, thank you.
Play
These
Anywhere is like
experiences
their
don't stop when you put
install
down
the game on your
controller.
PC,
As
play it
you've
for a
seen
few
in
hours,
recent
then
years, more
play
and
it via
more
the
of our
cloud on your
characters,
phone,
stories, and
it'll
worlds
have
are
your save
expanding
data.
to brand new audiences.
And it works.
through
It's genuinely
TV
really. I
and
haven't done it in
film.
ages, but
A Minecraft movie.
oh,
and the
Chicken
Fallout
Jockey.
TV
That's like our
series
second or
broke
third
records
Chicken Jockey
and brought
reference.
millions of players into the game. We have more projects in the works as gaming continues to influence film and television like never before. When it comes to growing new
Oh, I forgot
franchises,
they own like
Obsidian
2 of
is
the
having a
most
year like no
successful
other.
recent
From
adaptations.
launching a blockbuster new game like Avowed to the upcoming release of The Outer Worlds
Minecraft
2
and
this October.
Fallout are both
Obsidian
Microsoft.
is always delivering great games, and they have a third game launching this year. You'll get to go deeper on it in our Direct, but until then, let's take a look.
There's a third Obsidian game? Who are they? Strange Scaffold?
World premiere.
So they got Avowed, Outer Worlds 2, and...
I told you, you can't run from me, you foul beast.
That's not actual He-Man, is it? No, it's legally distinct He-Man.
With new flexible legs, the yoke girth action figure can ride anything.
Yoked girth?
Breaking news. There's been an explosion at Brook Hollow Park. Chaos descended on a ceremony commemorating the 2-year anniversary of when 4 teenagers
Oh,
were
Grounded.
miniaturized against
Oh, I
their
forgot they
will,
made Grounded.
left to fight for their survival in the backyard of a deranged
I
scientist.
never
Formerly
played this.
evil company Ominent Practical Technologies was set to dedicate
I don't
a
like
statue
bugs,
of the 4
so-
teenagers, fast food science robot Burgle, and Dr. Tully when an explosion erupted. Dr. Tully and the teenagers' current whereabouts are also unknown.
If there's a sequel to Grounded where they're like in the city fighting rats and pigeons, I'd be more into that. What a song choice. Ooh. I did not touch Grounded 1. I guess enough people dug it for them to go again.
The predecessor, ND3500, reached. Accessing predecessor's travel log. Attempting data salvage.
Oh, Bloober Team.
I have encountered an unprecedented orphan.
Remember when Silent Hill 2 came out and their like CEO was like, "We're done making shitty games." The pressure's really on now, brother.
The behavior pattern of the orphans populating the area is highly unusual.
They're doing a spin on Dead Space.
They become exceptionally aggressive.
recommended to proceed with caution.
What was that? I couldn't make out that shitty font.
In coordination.
Destroying the nest is now a priority.
Ugh. The Gunos.
Such is our calling.
Lots of gross body physics in the last. Yeah, Chronos: The New Dawn coming fall to everything except the Switch 2 again. PS5, Epic, Steam, all the Xboxes. Back to Bethesda. Although Bethesda is now such a wide net, when you say Bethesda Presents, it's like, that's not just Bethesda Games Studio. Aw. Oh, it's a Skyrim Online thing. That's a cute little cat. Oh, is it pets coming to Elder Scrolls Online? $26 million players. I don't know. I think Elder Scrolls Online got rid of the subscription. I think it's free to play now, is it not? It's funny because this, of course, this was a disaster at launch, if I recall correctly. They turned it around significantly enough that now every single Xbox like E3 thing you have to watch an Elder Scrolls trailer because they did turn it around to the point that it's successful, so they have to keep they give it its yearly plug. That's still on PS4. Wow. Free to play with premium subs. Okay.
World premiere.
This has been pretty solid so far.
Mayday! Mayday! Hope one to mission control. We're falling! Thomas, the ship's breaking apart. There's no time. Evacuate now! Thomas, come in!
Ariane, you sacrificed everything for a new world to save mankind. And I'll always love you
interesting.
for that.
Okay. Don't nod the OG Life is Strange people. This song, dude. Come on with the songs, dude. Fucking TikTok ass trailer. Come on, dude. What is marketing doing? What are you people paid for? Marketing people, what are you paid for? This you cannot seriously just have this in mind. Yeah, don't nod at another studio. They churn games out fairly sharpish, you know. They had Jusant last year, which I never got around to. They had a faux Life is Strange style thing earlier this year, didn't they? Like a very similar type of game.
Thomas, wherever you are,
Aphelion.
I'll find you.
That seems alright. Lost Records, that was them, wasn't it? Yeah. Oh, there's monsters. Yeah, because Jusant was like the sort of mountain climbing game. This kind of looks like it's building upon that, because it kind of looks like a third person like platforming exploration adventure game, but a little bit more narrative driven, a little bit more atmospheric. I heard Jusant was good. I never got around to it.
World premiere.
The funny thing about Lost Records is that it seems like a lot of their post Life is Strange, Life-is-Strange-esque stuff hasn't really hit
never
at
met
all.
your real father, but he left you this hotel in his will. It's been in your family for generations, much like the caretaker. He's
Lots of good cats
little
on this stream.
eccentric. You'll see.
Let me welcome you to the Grand, a hotel famous across the land. Every room used to be in such high demand. Your wish our command here at the Grand.
Well, hello there. It looks like you're about to do some renovations. Would you like some help with that?
So, my father was renovating the hotel when he disappeared?
Not just the hotel. He was helping the entire village. You have his power tools. You know, you could pick up where he left off.
Oh, dude, the sickos who love that fucking power washing game are probably gonna love this.
They don't suspect a thing.
Just make sure the locals don't get wind of what you're really up to. Because if they find out, they will wickerman your ass.
Okay, it's not just a tidying game. There's also puzzle elements.
Things are gonna start looking bad. Don't make the same mistake your father made. In this place.
Oh, what is
the only
this?
one you can really
Oh, the cat talk! Let's go! There are no guests at the Grand. That's a pretty good name. That looks cool. That looks cool. And another Game Pass. No developer there unless I missed the developer logo there at some point.
There are as many gods in the world as there are stars in the heavens, and when we need their help, they send us a hero. Who would have guessed the defender of my homeland would be my daughter?
She unlocked the heavenly spear, but is she worthy?
That Mulan. $65 million? God damn. Age mythology, yeah, not my bag. Not my bag. But 65 million players can't be wrong, I guess. Age of Mythology retold. Does that make it a? Is it a remake? What is that? There's a whole world, absolutely. Remember that story earlier this year where like Human Fall Flat is now in like the top like 10 most played games of all time? EVR Studio, I don't recognize that name.
주권 국가의 자주적 결정을 누가 허락하는가? 만약 이 결정이 패권 국가의 특정 정치 집단의 이익을 저해한다.
Subtitles, hang on here, let me scooch myself out of the way here.
당신의 특정 행동이 대중의 의사결정에 영향을 미칠 수 있으며 반대로 누군가는 당신의 의사결정에 영향을 주려 한다는 것을 인지할 때 자신만의 온전한 입장을 세울 수 있지 않을까? 당신의 입장은 온전한 본인의 판단인가? 그렇게 믿고 있거나 믿고 싶을 뿐.
This looks like a game where the developers are going to very humorously try and call it apolitical. What's it? Closer to release. What is this? It looks kind of cool.
당신은 무엇 때문에 분노하는가? 당신의 분노는 스스로 결정한 것인가?
This looks like a lot of different things. My goodness.
당신의 분노를 이용한다. 지정태.
Wudang 2 Hearts. That looks cool, whatever that is. Predicting the girls' mission song. Zig! Oh, I think they're going to be class. I think they'll be the best part, to be perfectly honest. And once again, every system except the Switch 2 on that graphic there at the end.
World premiere.
That looked cool. That looked, it looked like... you know what? I kind of liked about it. I don't think you could put it in a box. I got Splinter Cell bits off it, but also supernatural and more action-oriented and a whole different thing.
Novo. Te kemai te mana. Mui te unani te waiora. Dia. Novo tu alibemo iwa lotaname. Ona otalima.
Remember in Spider-Man 2 when they were like, we heard all the feedback and the Mary Jane missions are like sick now and they sucked again. They were bad the second time, but just like a different flavor of bad. This Lana something. Oh god, what was that thing called? The name will come up on the screen in about 10 seconds and I'll go, oh yeah, that. The planet, secret planet, planets of Lana. Yes, yeah, it was a very Ori-ish kind of like action 2D Metroidvania thing. I feel like that game, that first one just came out like 2 years ago, and people really liked it. I never got around to it. Another cat, wow. Planet of Lana too. Yeah, see, yeah, Secret Planet of Lana. I knew it was something along those lines. I never got around to that first one. It was people liked it quite a lot. Nintendo Switch. We're back, folks. The game that's coming out on PS4 and Xbox One also coming to Nintendo Switch. Nintendo stays winning, boys. Again, Bethesda as a publishing label is so broad that this could be anything but... Oh, it's another online thing. Oh, okay.
Well, hello there. Beautiful day to relax by the old fishing hole, wouldn't you say? When it comes to fishing, Appalachia is a land aswim with opportunity. Yes, you'll find fish of all flavors in every walk of waterway. From its mightiest of rivers to its humblest of
Robots
ponds.
we play natively and
Just
optimized
step
for
up to the
gaming
bank,
handhelds.
cast your line,
Scam your
and when
children
your bobber
today.
starts bobbing, reel in the rewards. What do you got on there, Jed? Worms. And how are they biting today?
Christmas
See for
2025,
yourself.
yeah. I think that...
Bagging the big fish starts with finding the right
Wait, what
tools
makes you
for
say
the job.
no Silk Song?
There are as many unique combinations of
The lady
rods, reels,
said
bobbers,
that-
and baits
that-
as there are fish in the sea.
That you will be able to
And when
play
you've caught
Silk
your
Song
fill,
on it when it
pop
releases.
over to the local tackle
Am I,
shop
that's
to
what she
swap
said,
fish
right?
trays.
I'm remembering correctly?
Can you smell that?
So
No
similar.
matter
Jesus
what
Christ.
troubles plague the future wastelands
Maybe I
of
do need to
Appalachia,
get glasses.
You can always find comfort in cozy little
Can you all
joys
start
like
typing in
this.
caps, please?
You just gotta know where to look.
Listen, I've
Vault
watched a lot of
Life is your
streams this
ticket
week, alright?
to easy living. Design and build your own little slice of paradise.
16
A place
gigs of
to show off all the
LPDDR5
bits and bobs
RAM
you
or
collect in your
24
travels.
gigs, I guess, on the
Got a green
handheld.
thumb? Plant your own peaceful vegetable garden. And nothing warms the heart
512 SSD.
like a neighborhood cookout. Ah,
Or 1
community
terabyte.
makes a wasteland a waste home. Join today, and tomorrow you'll be kicking back and sharing a meal with friends
20
in beautiful Appalachia.
24 gigs seems a bit of RAM for a handheld. Seems like a lot. Like, but again, I haven't read any reviews too closely of some of those newer Windows ones that are a bit more. But the thing about future-proofing though is that like those things are just so limited by their APUs. I guess it would be. I mean, obviously, it doesn't hurt to have more RAM, but I just don't know if absolutely stuffing the thing full of RAM is necessarily going to make it more future-proof. I suppose it doesn't hurt, I guess, and it'll probably help with like general performance. You lads who are running this trailer, I feel like you missed you were supposed to get the Keeley thing yesterday. For Windows, exactly. Which Xbox is trying to address. They're like, okay, you need 24 gigs of RAM to run Windows on a handheld. We're working on it. But for now, you do need that. The pricing is going to be fascinating, because here's the thing. The ROG allies, I believe, are more expensive than the comparable versions of the Steam Deck. But the ROG allies have not been... They have been fairly aggressively priced, I would say. And I would think Microsoft would also want to be aggressive in that market. Because the one big success of this generation has been the Series S, not the Series X. So I wouldn't be stunned if those handhelds end up cheaper than you might expect based on the specs, and Microsoft are like taking a loss on every single one, with the hope that you'd make the money up, obviously, on the games and Game Pass and stuff. Yeah, ROG Ally is 800 quid, right? So that's around the top level price of a Steam Deck as well. What is this music, brother? I'm gonna catch my ride or die in this world? Is this another fake Pokemon game? Oh my god, why do people love being sued by Nintendo? Why? To the lads making this game, just pirate Switch games if you want to go to jail so badly. Like, what? It's just... Oh, dude, this is like more egregious than Pal World. These are just Pokemon! These are just Pokemon! Oh, dude, these are just Pokemon. You can't do this. You can't keep getting away with this. Animo. Only on Xbox. Exclusive.
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I just want to say thanks to everyone for all the love and support we've seen since we announced Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 a few months ago. These games have changed my life, but more than that, I've seen them help spread a love and appreciation for skating all over the world.
Yeah, it's the first Pal World like.
I can't wait for
we were
the
big
game.
fans of
It's been
retro game
rebuilt with
Pal
so
World.
much care and attention to
We
detail,
loved how much they went
with
to
some
jail.
brand new parks, new music, new skaters, and more. And you can enjoy it all with your friends with up to 8 players in multiplayer.
I would
Tony
be
Hawk's Pro
shocked
Skater
if
3
he
and 4
says we
officially
can't wait
drops
for you to play
July
3 and
11th,
4.
And we have a lot more surprises.
And also
to come.
1 and 2 is on
Check
Game
out
Pass
the launch
now.
trailer now.
This game's out in like 3 weeks, right? This is out pretty soon. The Activision stuff is slowly creeping onto Game Pass, very slowly. I mean, the big controversy on this is that they confirmed that the 2-minute time limit for missions is in place for the levels from 4, even though the original Tony Hawk's 4 did not have that. And my stance on that is I don't care. 4 is the worst. That's harsh. It's not the worst one in the franchise, but of these original 4 is the weakest. And I did not like that they ditched the 2-minute time, so I think that's an improvement. I don't want them to be like hyper loyal to source. Oh. They got modern Bam's outfit in there, his short hair and his suit. You know. Oh! There he is, folks. Bam Margera. He looks great, doesn't he? They've also got the Doom guy in this. There he is. Nice. There we go. There we go. Now that's coming to the Switch and the Switch 2, folks. Doom guy, I think, was in the original, yeah. The Ninja Turtles are probably... Because Tony Hawk 3 had, like, Wolverine and Darth Maul in it. The 2 greatest guest characters in any game ever. I guess those are a no-go these days. The money Disney would probably charge. Ooh, I like Spiritfarer. After the game Firewatch games making? I don't remember. Well, I don't remember. Was it another thing? Was it a first-person, like, narrative thing? This looks a lot more action-oriented than Spiritfarer. Which was... Spiritfarer was a weird kind of, like, light platforming, like, resource management story game thing. This just looks like a 2D... Weird. You're acting like Mom. Oh, it got cancelled. Oh, jeez. At Fate's End. A lot of 2026 so far. There's been some stuff this year, but a lot of 26, which is fair enough, you know. Oh, yeah, here we go. Gears. I will replay this game. I will replay this game. Gears, one of the most boring good games ever. So wrong. So wrong. Gears is awesome. Gears fucking rocks. I like taking cover behind things. I like chainsaws. I like cutting aliens in half.
You think you can still find your way back home, Phoenix?
Looks nice. Looks nice.
Looks like they upgraded.
120 frames multiplayer, nice.
Baby. Let's do this. This is gonna
Hell yes. I feel like that's going to be another one of those games that sells bananas on PlayStation. Do you know what I mean? Like Indiana Jones came out, and you were kind of like, oh, like
world premiere.
Who's gonna? Are people really gonna be excited for a game that came out like a year ago or like 6 months ago, and it was like a chart topper? It's like there's a lot of PlayStations out there, and there's a lot of people in the 20 years since the 360 came out. There's a lot of people who have not owned an Xbox because they were, especially in Europe, you know, PlayStation just had more of a hold. There are probably people who have wanted to play a Gears of War game for 20 years and have not played one. And a combination of that plus nostalgia, I think, means that is going to hit big. I have never played a Persona game, so people love this one, right? 4 is like the one that they've wanted them to remake for a very long time, right? Oh, is that it? Wow. Well, I mean, I guess you know, it was a nice looking modern graphics look at Persona 4. Okay, there you go. People are very excited about that one.
The Smugglers League is always there. But you won't see us. You won't hear us.
Sea of Thieves, another one of those ones that they redeemed, and so we have to watch a trailer every year for the new thing.
That's what we wanted.
I don't think we've done it in a couple of years, but there was a stretch there where like every 6 months me and the boys would boot up Sea of Thieves, play it and have fun for like a weekend, and then not touch it again for a year. I go, yeah, that's cool, and then lose interest.
So I guess
it's a little bit too much like work. Do you know what I mean? Like coordinating people to steer those boats. It's like it's a cool idea, but unless you're a real ship piloting pervert, I don't know.
Getting your hands on gold is one thing, but you should know that this is what we're really after. The bigger the boom, the better.
That Idris Elba? It's a good shout. I think it probably was.
Smugglers need to be adaptable. It's more than moving under moonlight and shadows. You should be ready to take advantage of others' misfortune.
I think part of what also I like about Gears of War as well was
the always an option. Just do whatever it takes
the novelty of
you are
playing co-op with your buddies online. When that was still a novelty. If you were a console person like me, obviously, and you weren't on online gaming, old news to the, you know, the Doom multiplayer sickos of the 90s, but
you're paying for that.
That must be Elba, surely. He will show up on anything. Yeah, yeah, and he always has as well. That's not a recent thing. He will deal in a hell shite. He's fine. He's good. You know, we like him. We like him anyway, folks.
World premiere.
Swears. Freaking swear. Bro, can you say that, bro? No, come on, dude. You can't say that, brother. More Deadpool. A non-VR Deadpool game.
This is ridiculous. Please. Come on.
An Invincible game? What? Did this leak? I did not know they were making an Invincible game.
Had enough yet?
No, Dad. Not even close.
We getting the real voice cast? We getting J.K. Sims? We getting Mr. Stephen Young? We getting, who else did that? Mark Hamill? We getting, Zazie Beetz? That TV show has everyone in it. Every actor you've ever seen in anything is in the Invincible cartoon. Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing. If the gameplay of this is like those old 3D Dragon Ball games, it might be awesome.
Or die.
That's a good fake J.K. Simmons if it's not him. I feel like it must be though.
I'd like to propose a third option.
Is this a tag fighter? Is this a tag fighter?
I'm going to throw you off this planet for good.
Oh. Oh, it is it? It's a fighting game. Oh my god. A big week for fighting game perverts who like comic book licenses. Who is... Wow. It is a tag! It's a tag! Fucking... That is a great idea! Oh my god! Did they have a developer graphic? They had Skybound, but that's obviously that's Kirkman's publishing thing. Will there be fatalities? I know probably not under that name, but surely there will be some equivalent of it in a game like this. There's got to be exploding heads and ripped out spines and... Oh, there is! Oh, shit! Wow, that looks really cool. That looks really cool. I fell off that TV show because the release schedule was annoying and second season wasn't that good. But I like Invincible, you know. Oh. Oh, was that not out on Xbox previously? I Vinci!
Know your place, little lamb. There's no one to save you now.
I love how he's like such a phenomenal actor and he's in so many great things. You know. But he will always be Finchy to me. Yeah, this is 16, isn't it?
Valisthea cannot endure a second claim upon her being, but she may yet be saved by you.
I don't think they're PlayStation exclusive necessarily. I believe they're... There was some... Oh, what was it? I'm drawing a blank now. It was some fucking work. Because it's on... Didn't they... Yeah, they just weren't on Xbox. Because I think... Isn't that also announced for the Switch too? Or am I Mandela affecting that? Oh, wow. I kind of want to play more of the Double Fine back catalog. I absolutely adored Psychonauts 2. I never finished Psychonauts 1. Ugh. Yeah, I saw Splitgate 2 on Game Pass earlier, but isn't that game free to play? What are you getting on Game Pass? This looks nice. I'm curious if this will presumably come out on other consoles as well. Double Fine is owned by Microsoft, but I mean, again, that Rubicon has thoroughly been crossed. Just Xbox and Steam, okay. This year, nice. Okay, October, cool. Again, that looked limbo-y kind of
games like Psychonauts 2 showed how Double Fine
exploration,
excels
platforming,
at
puzzling,
unique and innovative experiences.
That looked cool.
And Keeper is no exception. Looking ahead, next year marks 25 years of Xbox. It's a big milestone for the platform and franchises that you help build and make popular. We couldn't have done this without everyone who's been with us on this journey. As we think about bringing a new generation of players to these iconic franchises, I'm excited to share that players will get to celebrate 25 years of Xbox with a new Fable, the next Forza, Gears of War E-Day, and the return of a classic that's been with us since the beginning. Today, you've seen an incredible range of games from creators across the globe.
Oh, I want to see more.
Creators like In Exile, reaching for new heights with Clockwork Revolution. Sluggerfly, making Team Meat's modern classic platformer into 3D.
Sluggerfly?
Square Enix, bringing more of the critically acclaimed Final Fantasy franchise to our players. And Team Ninja, returning to the beloved
I feel like they showed
series
Fable not that
debuted
long
on
ago,
Xbox.
and they said it was delayed.
You've
right?
also seen
I wasn't
the
expecting
next
to see Fable
Xbox hardware release.
Our
Xbox
Gears is the
Ally
one where I'm kind of
handheld,
like, I think,
which lets you bring your
Gears
Xbox
E-Day, I kind of feel like we need to
experience
see a
and
little bit of
your
that.
library with you anywhere. I hope you enjoyed the breadth and depth of the games,
just an hour?
updates,
That
and
was a pretty good
experiences
hour,
that
to
are
be
coming
fair.
to Xbox from our partners and our own creative teams. We're seeing more players on our platform and in our games than ever, thanks to all of you. We're proud of the creativity that Obsidian is delivering this year. Immediately after Showcase, our Direct begins, where you'll go inside the studio for an extended look at The Outer Worlds 2 and Grounded 2. Thanks for joining us today. But before we get into the Direct, we have a final world premiere.
Okay.
Enjoy.
It looks like a lot of the long in development, you know, no Perfect Dark, no Fable, no Gears. You know, no Gears E-Day, I should say.
Welcome to the Guild. We have been expecting you. Please, follow me. You already know us as a global tech leader. Our software, our systems, combined with our skilled
Marathon
team,
is Bungie, which is
designed
Sony
to
owned.
save lives. Your years of service have shown you the importance of our work. Here, you'll witness the global scope of that
Video
mission
game
in
man,
action.
who is that?
Let me introduce you to our esteemed visionary.
For too long, we have been bound by outdated systems, accepting limitations instead of redefining them. The Guild is safeguarding tomorrow, now. We are pioneering the future of protection worldwide. Our advancements are designed to elevate everyday life, reshaping the future of technology on a global scale. I'm Emma Kagan, CEO of the Guild.
Mine's I too. I don't think this is a thing we should know. If it is, I certainly don't know it, but...
Fear is a powerful thing.
David Mason. Oh, is it Call of Duty? Oh. Oh, that looked kind of interesting for a while there. That looked kind of interesting. And Black Ops 7, a game with a 7 in it. Dude, you can't ending on a a big reveal like that, and it's an annualized game. Imagine ending a presentation and the big reveal at the end is that it's like Madden. Okay, that was a wet fart. I thought that was a really good presentation. Other than that, I thought that was there was a lot of cool stuff in that. We'll watch a little bit of this because I got time. So. This is the Outer Worlds 2 deep dive, I guess.
Welcome to Obsidian Entertainment. We here at the studio have joked around that this has been the year of Obsidian, with Avowed releasing early this year and now ending the year with 2 more games. And what better way to cap this incredible year for us than by doing what our studio does best, sequels.
That's where I come in. You can get out of here, Fergus. Thank you so much. No, you're doing great. You nailed it. The sequel is the lifeblood of every great franchise. Think about it. The original creates the world and builds fandom, but the sequel, that's what makes it worth remembering. No sequel, no hoverboard. No sequel, no dual SMGs. No sequel, no Raccoon Tail. No sequel, no Zune 2. Which doesn't really exist, but I wish it had.
There was a Zune 2.
There was a Zune 2? I'm Mark, the head of sequels here at Obsidian. And I have
That is not a real title, sir.
Blockbuster movies to AAA video games.
I see your little bit you're doing.
Trust me.
Head of sequels? Come on now.
Come along on this journey with me. Part 2.
I still haven't played Pentiment.
Let the killing commence.
He's a famous actor. Who is he? Oh, he's the guy who voices Sonic.
The Outer Worlds 2 is a sequel to The Outer Worlds 1. It's a continuation of the themes of robber barons in space and how people are controlled by the stories they're told by the people who have power over them. This time we're able to go a lot deeper because we have more time and money, which is a great thing, and we're able to make it a much more true Obsidian reactive RPG than we were the first time around.
I've watched like 3 episodes of Parks and Rec in my entire life.
So we're going deeper and more complex with everything for the sequel. Deeper story, lore, RPG interactions, reactivity, all the things we've been known for as a company. It's really a complete realization of everything people want from an Obsidian game. Surprisingly, this is the first time in over 25 years that I've had the chance to do a full sequel for a world that I helped co-create. It's really just a fantastic opportunity to explore and expand the universe in interesting ways, and to go even further with the themes of how people are affected by living in a dystopian corporate reality.
You can shoot your way through it, you can talk your way through it, you can sneak your way through it. And so no matter what kind of playstyle that you like, this is just an awesome franchise and an awesome game to jump into, even if it's your first one.
The first Outer Worlds was a great base to start from, as it has all the elements of a great Obsidian RPG. Interesting characters, deep worlds, important choices. In Outer Worlds 2, not only did we want to double down on those elements, but we wanted to give players even more of it.
We've also put a lot of investment into skills and traits that impact things like combat, conversations, and areas that we call RPG interactions, which are the part of the world where players can use their specific skills, perks, and backgrounds to solve problems in unique ways in our new, bigger worlds.
I liked what I played of it. I
love a deep RPG experience.
I don't know.
And building out that RPG crunchiness for our players was at the forefront of what we set out to create. We prioritize those deeper RPG options with different character builds.
I played through the entirety of New Vegas
can express their role-playing power fantasies.
It was cool. I really liked it.
We also have different equipment options for different playstyles and different companions with different abilities. In the first Outer Worlds, you start off as the Stranger, which was basically a blank slate to build on top of with various attribute points that would begin to define your personal experience in the game. You can make any kind of character you want, but we've given you a role. That role is an Earth Directorate agent. You can think of them as kind of like space cowboys or space sky marshals. They're the good guys that go into places and kind of fix everything that's wrong. You're gonna be one of those. But we don't tell you why you joined the Earth Directorate. There could have been a lot of different reasons, right? It could have been because you're an actual lawbringer and you want to go in there and spread law throughout the galaxy. It could be that you're a roustabout and you just had nothing better to do. After you pick your background, one of the really important choices you have next is choosing your traits. While we had attributes in the first Outer Worlds, we've leaned into traits for the Outer Worlds too, which are these big changes to your character depending on which ones you pick. So it could be something like Brilliant, where you can tag extra skills and you start getting extra skill points. And that's obviously really great if that's how you want to build your character. You can also go and do something like Lucky, where you get extra critical chance, and you also get a lot of really cool options throughout the game as well. Of course, we brought back Dumb, so players love the Dumb option.
Tell me, do you believe in signs? Not quite what I meant, but I like your contempt for boundaries. I could put your adventure spirit to good use.
You get like lots of really cool, fun conversation options in the game, but we took that even further. And again, there's lots of elements in the game where you can be dumb and use that for something. Could be something as simple as banging on a machine to get it to work. After you've invested in some of your traits, your next choices are going to be choosing your skills. The skills themselves basically allow you to build on your playstyle and what your character is doing in the game. That will be everything from playing stealthily to speccing for an explosive specialty. Throughout your entire journey, your character continues to change with the different choices you make. In the Outer Worlds 1, actually had more skills than we have, so we condensed them down to really the core and essence of what we really wanted there. But we made each point that you put into a skill much more impactful. So instead of getting small percentage changes, we actually did much larger changes per point that you put into each skill. And again, all these things.
I like a skill tree where I feel like when I level up, I have a real fucking choice.
Even having
like
one additional skill point in something
really
can open up a lot more options in the world
you know
itself.
what I mean?
If anybody's played Fallout New Vegas, they'll be very familiar with like the perk system.
I have,
we
brother.
basically borrowed that,
@thebarrylad.
but went even grander. We actually have more perks than Fallout New Vegas did. But here's the cool thing, right? We check and use perks for literally everything, right? So you can do everything from, hey, I want to make a stealthy build that steals stuff and is really good at that. Okay, great. Well, you can take maybe the pickpocketing perk. So that's not available to everybody, but if you select that, now you can actually go around and steal things out of people's pockets. There's another perk called heavy-handed, right? Where say you're a melee person, what this does is now your power attacks that you use actually knock people down.
Oh man, I really like the serial killer perk. As you start killing people, they will drop hearts. And you can take those hearts, and essentially you're taking these trophies, you could say, and it's actually giving you a permanent health bonus every time you do it. We have this perk called Assassin. Now, this is an early game perk that you can take, which every time you stealth attack an enemy, you're actually going to get a movement bonus for a certain amount of time.
Flaws were a system that everybody loved from the first game, but we wanted to make it more personal to the player. We wanted it to really reflect how you were playing the game and give you a bonus that you actually wanted to really engage with.
With the flaw system returning, we knew we needed to go bigger, better, and more real than ever before. So, we turned to the team. I told them, no bad ideas. Give me what you got. Okay, we need more flaws. We need them to be real. I want to put them in the game, so give me something. Inspiration. What's wrong with you?
Oh, I have bad knees.
You have bad knees? They hurt when you walk a lot?
Yes.
When you walk too much, they hurt?
No cartilage.
Sounds boring. Makes you sound like a boring person, but it's in the game.
I know it.
It's a good flaw. What about you?
I like to take small things sometimes.
So you're stealing?
No, I'm taking.
When do you give them back?
I don't.
Claire. Yeah, you shouldn't be stealing. What are you doing? You shouldn't be stealing, Claire.
Tiny crimes.
Tiny crimes? Do you hear the second part, though? It's a crime.
Well,
You're stealing. Claire, that's wrong. You can't steal things, okay? But it's an amazing flaw, and I'm putting it in the game. But you're a bad person. And are you the one that took my stapler?
do you need it?
Yeah. Give it back.
Okay.
Please. You, what do we got? Flaw.
I like to stare at the sun.
How long did you stare at the sun?
Just lunch break.
An hour?
Oh, I only get 30. You guys get an hour?
I get an hour. Maybe an hour.
Oh.
Let's get back to the mechanics, boys. That was really
Makes you
interesting.
feel energized.
How many fingers am I holding up?
Let's,
3? No. Anything else? We'll put it in the game. We'll put it in the game because I feel bad for you. Anything else?
One of my favorite flaws is something called bad knees. It will actually give you the option to take this flaw that'll make it so that you move faster throughout the game. But the problem is, anytime you stand up, your knees are going to make a loud popping noise that makes it so that, well, everyone around you is going to hear you.
There's one called Kleptomaniac.
He just
This
like
is
me
really
for
interesting, 'cause
real.
What it does is when you steal something, you can actually sell it for more bits than normal, and like that sounds really great. The drawback is sometimes when you're looking at things in the world that are owned by somebody else, you'll automatically steal them. So you have to be very careful about how you use them.
One of our more wacky perks is the Sun Gazer Flaw, and it just gives everyone cataracts while playing their game. So everything becomes like light shafts and blooms and hazes, and makes the game pretty unplayable if you happen to choose that perk.
If you happen to be the type of player that habitually reloads your weapons like I do, well, you'll be offered the flaw of over-prepared. Now, you'll get larger magazine sizes on all of your weapons, but if you ever fully empty your magazine, you're going to take a debuff for a while. While we support options like being a gunslinger who wants to key into destructive weapons, or a rogue who wants to alpha strike their enemies before they know what hit them, we also allow for a lot of fun and experimental builds. You can be a mad scientist who utilizes gadgets and wacky science weapons and armors, or even a psychopath who gains permanent bonuses to health by murdering their friends.
Nothing shows the impact of these character build options better than, in my opinion, the bridge area, which has a quest you get early on in Paradise Island.
All that perk stuff and flaws, that looked really great. That looked really great.
Not only do you kind of encounter this very early, and it's a very core one to the story, but it really expresses our philosophy of allowing the player to solve problems in a bunch of ways. So you may solve it by, you know, speech options. You may talk to them and maybe have to go do a quest for them and really kind of prove that you're a friend of the Protectorate to get by.
I may have need of your help, stranger, if you are ready to seize an opportunity to show fealty to the Protectorate.
You could go guns blazing and you could just take everyone out inside the POI, lower the bridge itself, and kind of get across. You could sneak in, lower the bridge, and then actually sneak in under the bridge to get over to the other side. You can bypass the bridge entirely if you found like certain gadgets, like the shield gadget that protects you from poison gas as you go across, or the double jump boots, which kind of allow you to jump across the chasm and get across that way. There's even a really kind of messed up way, right? Which is players can actually sacrifice one of their companions, the companion who they just found as part of.
We're no different than the Vrees if we start tossing our own to the rats. I sure as law ain't gonna follow someone who can't see the wrong in it.
I must admit I'm surprised we could come to an understanding. But I thank you for your loyalty, stranger. As promised, you shall have clearance to cross this bridge.
It's such a fun quest, but again, it really showcases that we want you to be able to solve this in whatever way you want to. When you build your character your way, we're there for you. We really want you to have the experience that you want to have out of this.
The poll is now live on the Discord for what we play after Half-Life 2, by the way. So you can go and vote now.
From the very beginning of our discussions about the Outer Worlds, we really knew we wanted every game to take place in a different colony. This lets us expand on all aspects of the universe. Every colony can be its own thing with its own flavor, and we can center them around anything we want. Any ideas or setting we're interested in. Arcadia is an isolated colony with abundant resources, and it's run by an authoritarian faction called the Protectorate. Their dictatorship is thematically based around the question of how much freedom people will give up for security and luxury. For Protectorate subjects, unfortunately, that answer is everything. The Protectorate is also incredibly wealthy because it was founded by the inventor of the skip drives, which are the Outer World's faster-than-light engines. But those skip drives are starting to cause rifts in space-time, which are cutting off all the other colonies on Earth from being able to trade with each other. The Order of the Ascendant is an
looks
offshoot
really
of the
nice.
Order of Scientific Inquiry from
Although the original
game,
Outer Worlds
and
look
like them
really
are a
nice as well.
science-based religion with the same goal of solving the universal equation, which will allow them to predict and alter the future to the benefit of all mankind. They used to be part of the Protectorate, but they split off to focus on solving the equation for the good of everyone,
less than no
not as a way to
hyper
simply
interest
control the
for Elder
masses.
Scrolls 6. I mean,
The player's been sent to Arcadia as an Earth Directorate agent to find out how the skip drives are causing the rifts and what can be done to stop them. Each of the factions have their own solutions to the rift problem and their own goals. The Protectorate wants to close them to protect their legacy as the inventor of the drives and their wealth. The Order wants to close them not only for the good of everyone, but also because they're complicating the math they're using to solve the universal equation. And Antes just wants to be able to open and close them at will to control all the trade routes between the colonies. In addition to expanding the themes and lore of the Outer Worlds, we're also expanding the humor, so each faction has its own flavor of absurdity. Anti's Choice is a merger between Anti-Cleo and Spacer's Choice from the original game, and there are corporate representatives in the Outer Worlds too. They've invaded Arcadia to liberate their resources for all of humanity at a profit.
Good commentary in there.
One of my favorite things from Fallout New Vegas is the radio system. It was just iconic for me, and I wanted to make sure that the Outer Worlds 2 had that. So we actually built out 3 different radio stations, one for each of the major factions. You also have a ton of music. Each station might have, like, I think 20 tracks of unique music that we've made for it. It's a lot of stuff. But the really cool part about this entire thing is that we actually put a lot of reactivity into the radio. So it will respond to the things that are going on around the world that you've been interacting with. So
Okay,
if you
cool.
go into a location, let's say you solve a problem for the Protectorate folks, if you listen to the
More
Protectorate
games need
radio
radios.
station,
Like,
they're going to be.
I feel like people only
cheering
do
you
that
on
when
as
they're making
hero.
a fake GTA.
Wonderful news, everyone. The Zeranium gas leaks at the Automech repair facility, strongly believed to be caused by Anti's Choice malefactors, have been corrected.
Some hotshot for hire just managed to fix the electrum leak in their repair facility. Now, I'm not saying we caused it in the first place, but we sure like the idea of all those broken automechanicals and all the excessive gasping and choking involved.
The factions and companions are great examples of how we're going deeper and more complex this time around. They're integrated into the game's storyline much more than we did on the first Outer Worlds, and like with everything else in the game, they have a lot more reactivity. There are 6 companions in the Outer Worlds too. As usual, each has their own quest lines, but this time they are also connected to a different faction and have character arcs that the player can affect through their choices. Your first companion is Niles. He's another Earth Directorate agent like you, and he's looking for your help to decide whether he wants to become an even better agent or to turn his back on the Earth Directorate completely. There's also a somewhat cute Automech support drone that is basically Niles' helper. Her name is Val. Marisol is part of the Order of the Ascendant, and she's an aging but still deadly assassin. That's right, she's a deadly mathematician who may or may not have some unfinished business to attend to with the player's help. There's also a cultist named Azza, who is part of a sub-faction that worships the rifts, and in her case, violence in general. You can choose to either turn her away from overt violence,
Oh,
or
the Great
support her
Okan!
chaotic and dangerous tendencies. At one time, Anti's Choice had a program to graft soldiers with animal parts to make them more formidable. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work, and most of them are now dead. There's a combat medic who survived, however, named Inez, and she wants the player to help her fix her graft, among other things. Finally, there's Tristan. He's a Protectorate arbiter who is judge, jury, and executioner all rolled into one heavily armored package. It is your choice to either help him judge wrongdoers or show him what true justice looks like.
We definitely have reactivity in the game based on how you've been treating your companions. I won't reveal the end of the game, but let's say if you have not been treating them well, you will find out at the end of the game what that means.
Spoilers. Damn.
Companions are a very, very important part of merchandising, because that's the real beauty of the sequel. We're talking merch, baby. It is the lifeblood. It is what fuels us. Do you want to see some of my ideas? Hop, hop. Check this out. Gen Alpha loves body pillows, especially ones that look like human beings for some reason, right? Who needs a significant other when you could have a knife-wielding space psycho up in your sheets, huh? What do they do with them when they get them, huh? Maybe a little napping, maybe a little snuggling, maybe a little nut.
Okay, material, whatever,
Visuals
delivery,
of the first
10 out
Outer
of
Worlds
10.
depicted a frontier colony in space.
All right,
Two
he
is
got
driven
me.
by an
Listen,
invasion of the Arcadia colony system
that was
by
good
Anti's
delivery.
Choice, which shifts the visuals to be more reminiscent of a World War I-like setting in space. That evolution is seen across all aspects of the game, starting with the factions. How do you militarize everything, including extreme capitalists or math-crazed scientists? In a World War I setting, war comes with propaganda. The Sovereign uses it to maintain control. Auntie's Choice uses it to help their bottom line. The Order just wants to show how it exists within the grand plan. We want players to feel like Arcadia is a living, breathing place scarred by a long-standing war. Fairfield, one of the first towns you encounter, was once under protectorate control, but has recently been taken over by Auntie's Choice. They don't just occupy the town, they rebrand it with their signature style, repainting buildings, posting guards, and adding propaganda-based holograms featuring Auntie and the Moon Man. Showing the towns evolving after the invasion helps us push immersion for our players. One of our priorities in visually realizing the world of The Outer Worlds 2 was making sure everything is clear and recognizable from the player standpoint. We want to make sure each faction has a particular look and design. So when the player is running across these vast, different environments and landscapes, they're recognizing the motifs and visuals of who they're talking to, what they're going to be talking about, and how that progresses throughout the story. The first Outer Worlds was really about the player interfacing with corporations. And while we have that in The Outer Worlds 2, we really want to express not just the corporations, but how the player interacts with other facets of the world, like government entities or religious structures. And then we elaborate on those.
With larger environments, we wanted to encourage exploration by improving player mobility across the board. Now you can run, slide, double jump, mantle, and parkour your way through all of the nooks and crannies of these worlds. It really allows the player to just explore and have fun finding really cool stuff.
We've aimed to make everything in The Outer Worlds 2 better from top to bottom. The RPG elements were the start, but that's touched our story, our art, and especially our gameplay. A good sequel is true to the original. That's first and foremost, right? Like, we all want to add in a bunch of things as you're making a sequel, right? We want to make it bigger and better in every way. That's what we were trying to do here. And I thought, we did not need this consultant. We've made enough sequels. We understand how to do this. And I will say, I don't think it's been entirely successful.
I am very proud of the combat improvements we have made in The Outer Worlds 2, thanks to my patented combat system. You may be thinking to yourself, it can't be that good? Shush, what are you even talking about? You haven't seen it yet. Watch this. Put a helmet on, because I'm about to blow all of your minds with my COMBAT system, combat system. My name is Mark, I'm the head of sequels. Shall we begin? You're thinking, what's C for? I mean, C. Capitalize the fact
I don't need you to do the
people
Dennis
loved
system,
the
brother.
first game. We're going to take those people, we're going to make them buy the sequel, giving out pounds, pounds, pounds. Quick ones. Ha, ha. Not you, Dev. Here we go. What comes after C? O. Optimize for player satisfaction. I am terrified of online gamers, okay? I want to make them happy. So let's, okay? All right. Mobilize the players so they're ready for that sweet, sweet pre-order. Clap with me. Sweet, sweet. If you don't have rhythm, Brandon, just say it. Sweet, sweet pre-order. Everybody has a different rhythm, and it's blowing mine. And here we go. B, burglarize. What is this? It's basically just finding new ways to loot dead bodies. You know what I mean? Right, Otis? Okay, well, it's a big part of the game. A, you gotta agonize about how many people are gonna be angry that we have just put so much combat into this thing and almost no romance at all. We should look at ourselves. What is wrong with us? Huh? We can't have one love
little
story
bit
in this?
indulgent.
How many people
Indulgent on the
love?
right.
Raise your hands.
You got
Raise
a
your hand
really
if you're
interesting
in
looking
love.
game here.
Okay, are you lying?
I have a wife.
Put your hand down. T, trois. In French, that means two, sequel.
I think that means 3.
Okay, you're getting ahead of yourself. Come on, Claire. We're on 2. And how do we end it? Anything is possible. And we've established that we're the best there is, and there's no sequel better than us. And if I could just say one more thing, thank you very much. I know I've kind of changed the world of video games today.
For The Outer Worlds 2, we wanted to improve gunplay in every way. We focused on improving the feel of each weapon, the way a weapon snaps into ADS, the way recoil feels when firing, and how impactful our sound effects really sell the weapon's fantasy, to things like how unique reload animation can add a lot of character to each weapon. We've increased the variety of weapons by including new weapon types, but also through a host of fun and unique weaponry. We have things like the Bourse Blaster that fires out tumors that can explode like grenades, or can even be eaten by the player for additional health.
Ugh.
We have a weapon called Rookie's
This is
Reward
coming out in, I
that will
think,
actually
October, I think they
level
said?
up the more you use it throughout the game. And every time it levels
This
up,
is
it's
like
got
their-
fun
this is
fanfare
their
where
big
it's like shooting out confetti
winter
and it's got
game, I
like a
believe.
fun little setup. We have a really fun weapon called the pop-up gun. It fires out ad drones that will distract your enemies with corporate ads, slogans, and jingles. While your enemies are distracted, you can focus fire on them or explode these drones for additional damage. New to the Outer Worlds 2 are throwables. So you can use frag grenades to flush out enemies, smoke grenades to camouflage and escape, distraction devices to bait enemies into a stealth attack, and even science grenades that will levitate enemies, allowing you to fire upon them while they float helplessly. And of course, science weapons are back. We have returning favorites, like the shrink ray. This time it's been upgraded, so you can shrink your enemy down to the size of a sprat and run over them, exploding them into bits.
The shrink ray, that was probably my favorite one from the first game, so we brought it into the second game, but we improved it though. So instead of shrinking your enemies for a short period of time and having them re-expand, this time they stay shrunk, and we actually added in the ability to step on them and kind of squish them and kick them, because we knew that that was the player fantasy. We knew that's what everybody wanted to do. They wanted to step on the enemies, they wanted to kick them, so we made sure to double down on that stuff.
In addition to things like our returning favorites, we also have some really fun and unique new science weapons. One of them is called the Armageddon. This one's really cool because it actually shoots out these masses that are like these little arms that will stick to people or cover or all kinds of different things.
Lots of gross shit.
They will continue to just hit them until they get destroyed. And we have another one that's just super cool called the Spectrum Dance Saber. This is a melee weapon that actually lets you attack to a musical beat. And if you continue to do that, you'll actually get additional bonuses each hit you do. One of my personal favorite weapons is called the Big Bang. It's just a big freaking gun that uses material
BFG,
harvested
you might
from
say.
rifts to shoot out a giant ball of energy, vaporizing everything in its path. Now, ammo's extremely rare for this weapon, but you can use it in just the right situation to devastating effects.
Seems like the type of
Another
thing
great
I would
one is
always be
Gary.
too afraid to use in
If
case
you
I
wear
wasted the ammo.
Gary, he will lash out at your opponents as you're walking through combat. So we even have science armors, and we've really kind of shown off what we thought was really great for the player from a science perspective.
We're all about letting people play the game their way. There are some players who prefer to be immersed in a first-person view, taking in all of the details. But there are others who really prefer to take the world in from a third-person perspective. Why not allow both? Well, now you can swap between the two, letting you enjoy the experience in whatever way you like. One of the things I really like about having the third-person mode is being able to see all of the fun and unique armors and armor combinations and weapons that you can equip your player with. All of the actions that you could do in first person, so you're double jumping around, you get to see your character in that way. And you get to take in the world and see things in a different light.
I'll go out on a limb and say no one will play with this. No, people will just play it.
The Outer Worlds 2 is really the biggest game we've ever made. Bigger choices, more reactivity, more weapons, more things to find
More
in each of the
turds.
worlds the players can visit. The team has
It's good
done
to have an option,
incredible
though. I
work
mean, it's
bringing
good to
the
have an
Outer Worlds
option.
2 to life. And we can't wait for you to play it.
Even though we've always been a multi-project studio, this is going to be the first time we've ever released 3 games in 1 year. It feels amazing to do. We're so excited for more people to be playing our games. It is truly an exciting time here at Obsidian. We're exploring worlds big and small while expanding on franchises that we've created, and we have no plans to slow down. We hope you all continue to come along with us as we do what we do
Yeah,
best.
the Avowed one is
Make
bad.
your world your way.
It looks fine in this trailer. I would bet when this comes out, it will not be good. These games, and this goes to the Bethesda games as well. They're so obviously designed with first person in mind, and then third person is obviously a secondary option. If this game comes out and both modes look good and are viable, it'll be the first time that's ever happened. You know what I mean? That looks really cool. That looks really,
With
really
the
cool.
Outer Worlds 2, we're all about the best place to play, which is also the promise of Xbox. You can play the Outer Worlds 2 on this Xbox, but it may be hard to play it when you're staring at all these beautiful holes. Let's cut that. You can play The Outer Worlds 2 on this Xbox. Oh yeah, now that's Microsoft. Or you can take a phone call on this Xbox, then play The Outer Worlds 2 right
This
after.
is their big
Excuse me, I'm
marketing
getting
thing
a
at
call.
the moment. This
Hello?
is an Xbox.
What am I doing?
Anything with a
I'm
screen
playing
is
The
an
Outer
Xbox.
Worlds. Hello?
You know.
Yeah, this is Mark. I didn't know I had jury duty today. You could play The Outer Worlds 2 on this Xbox, but it takes 2 people to lug around safely. We're gonna go up to my apartment, okay? And this is an Xbox you actually wear that also plays The Outer Worlds 2. What do you think, Claire?
This is amazing.
Are you playing?
I think so.
Fantastic. So now this is actually not an Xbox, so you cannot play The Outer Worlds 2 on it. Can't play anything on this. I guess bread.
For anyone wondering, there
You ever play
is a
Bread where you
Game
take it out of
Pass
one slot,
cloud
put it in the other?
streaming
I don't
app
have friends.
on the
If you
Meta
pre-order the
Quest
premium
headsets.
edition now,
That is not them
you'll get
announcing
early
a VR
access, which is
version of
like
the game.
a
It's just a
prequel
big
to the
screen.
sequel, or has launched the sequel to the pre-order, or like, why are any of us alive at any time? It doesn't matter. Either way, my job here is done. It's time for the Grounded 2 portion of the Direct, which is sort of like
not watching the
sequel to the Outer Worlds 2 portion of the Direct, which I
Hang on, before we
absolutely just
switch,
hit a
what's
home
the
run
chat
with.
saying?
You know, it's really nice to see my influence go on to other games. Take it away, team.
Tomatoes. Outer Worlds is peak.
And Big Exit.
Finally over. What are you guys talking about? Okay.
We're so
Yeah,
proud
we'll get a
of
bit of half
Grounded.
sword going. Hang on. Let me let's go on Wario's here. See if there's any links about Outer Worlds 2. 80 United States dollars for Outer Worlds if you are not playing it via the Game Pass. Interesting. We were pleased to announce for the revival. Okay. ROG Ally info and specs. Launching this holiday, which also means Silksong is out at that time. Pricing, compatible accessories, and pre-orders to be revealed in the coming months. Okay. So yeah, these were very tough to read in the 2 seconds they were on stream. Okay, so Ally and Ally X for the existing ROG devices. Ally X is their like premium gamer, fucking the real good one you would actually want. I mean, I've heard the base Allies are fine as well, but my thing with things like this is that if you're going to spend 600 quid on them, like that's already a big expense. I would not want to spend that much money and get the version that's like got a lot of asterisks next to it. You know what I mean? So you got 16 gigs and 24 gigs and a terabyte and 512. I assume this thing is going to have an SD card slot, although I don't see one here. Okay. So they both have Windows 11 Home, contoured grips, blah blah. 2 back buttons that you can assign. HD haptics. Do we have analog triggers? Hall effect sticks. Okay, bumpers. Command center library. 2 assignable back buttons. 2 full size analog sticks. Surely it has analog triggers, I would imagine. Okay, so the Z2 Extreme processor is it's the new hotness on these handheld PCs at the moment. The Z1 Extreme, that is the one that's in all the top of the line Steam Deck competitors, or it was in all of them. They are now obviously going for the Z2. And then the Z2A, I actually don't know too much about. I assume because it's in the cheaper version that it is the similar but lower spec version. So you have 1624, blah blah blah. They're both okay, same screen on both of them. Okay, both of them 120 hertz, which is cool. Anti-reflection glass, 1080p. Okay, very good. Different ports depending on which one you get. The cheaper one has 2 USB 3.2 ports, Type-C with display port and power delivery. The more expensive one will have a USB 4 Type-C. Wait. So it'll have fewer? The cheaper model will have 2 USB 3.2 ports. The more expensive model will have 1 USB 4. Am I reading this arseways? No, it has another. Okay, it's just saying it has an additional one. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay, I see. Thank you, Ringrust. Okay, so it has that plus the... Okay. They both have micro SD cards slots, which is good. And a headphone jack. These devices are keeping the headphone jack alive. The Steam Deck has a headphone jack. We love to see it. Micro SD card reader is great because if... I imagine, just like the Steam Deck, just like the existing ROG Allies, the first thing people are going to do is stick emulators on this. And so you can now get like a SanDisk SD card up to like 1.5 terabytes. So you can put every PS2 game under the sun on that. Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.4 on both. Different battery in the premium version. Okay, 60 watt hours versus 80. And they both come with a charging stand. That's interesting. I don't know too many of these devices that come with charging stands. Look, price is going to be the big thing on this. I'm fascinated on what the price is going to be. It seems cool. Looking at it here, those little grips here, like the little handholds. I mean, I think those things are great ergonomically for the feel in the hand. I don't like this here. These big spaces here. I just don't think it looks very nice. But then again, I did also kind of think that about the Steam Deck, and I've grown to like it. Price is going to be the big thing on this. I doubt there'll be any other news here. He's just recapping the... Okay. Yeah, okay. I thought that was pretty good. You know, some stuff on there I was kind of like, whatever, but that's fair enough. Not everything's going to be for you. Lots of Mudang 2 Hearts I thought looked good. Super Meat Boy 3D. I cannot believe that. High on Life 2, you know, I thought looked alright. Obviously Tony Hawk is out very, very soon. I think Gears of War looks great, and I think that's going to be a very fun like 2 weeks when that comes out. I feel like everyone will be playing this, you know. If for a brief moment it'll be 2006 again. Yeah, I thought that was really good. I thought that was the best stream easily of the fest so far. And it's crazy to me that it really looks like Silksong will come out this year, and but we know that via that handheld. Like, after all this time, it's confirmed it's coming out this year because they've said it's going to be available on that handheld on launch day. So bizarre. So bizarre. Look, if that's hitting before Christmas, surely we're going to get price info soon. How much is a Steam Deck right now? Steam Deck. Steam Deck. Okay. The most expensive Steam Deck at the moment is €679. That is the 1 terabyte OLED model. Now, the OLED models have slightly faster RAM, slightly better batteries, and obviously an OLED screen with a higher refresh rate of 90 hertz, I believe. And that's 670. How much is the most expensive ROG Ally X? Oh, that's not even the most recent one, is it? Products. Gaming handhelds. Oh, it is. Yeah, the X is the most recent one. Okay. So you got the ROG Ally and then the X from 2024. Okay, how much is this? Play all your games. Play Ally our games. Love that hashtag. That is a clever marketing thing, though, because I mean, one of the big knocks on the Steam Deck is obviously that because it's on Linux, you can't play like Fortnite or Call of Duty or most majorly kind of mainstream multiplayer games on it. So that's a big thing. If I wanted to... Yeah, I'm in Europe, brother. Can I get a... Where's Ireland? Where's Ireland? Disrespect! You bastards. You sons of bitches. Oh my god. Oh, absolutely despicable. Absolutely despicable. Okay, Germany. I mean, it's all the EU. I guess we can get it delivered. Just coffin. Let's take a look here. Where are the prices? Is this sold out? What the fuck? Jesus, I just want to buy this fucking thing. Well, I don't want to buy it. I just want to see how much it costs. Wait, where can I buy it in the UK? Maybe the... Okay. You can buy it from the ASUS website. You can buy it from Curry's. Okay, thank you. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. I'm not turning my VPN off for Curry's. Curry's Ireland. Great. What the fuck? Curry's. Fix your website. There we go. £860 in... Holy fuck, that's like $1,000 in euro. What the fuck? Curry's, your website fucking sucks. What's going on here? Not going. Yeah, holy shit. The Ally X. Okay, yeah, so again, that's with the Z1 Extreme. So that's... So it's the... The Xbox Ally X, which is the more expensive 24 gigs of RAM version... That's going to have the Z2, so the next generation. That's... Oh, so this one also has a terabyte hard drive and 24 gigs of RAM. So this is very similar to what the Xbox One will be, but with a newer CPU, or a APU, I guess it would be. Yeah, this is 249 quid. Or you can get it, I suppose, if you buy the... Well, it's weird, the bundle's cheaper. I don't think Xbox are going to want to release this thing at that steep a price. I don't think, with all the negativity around PS5 Pro and Switch 2, but also this is not them either. They're like working with Asus. This is not Microsoft releasing, here is the Xbox Portable, right? They're still working on that for a non-specific time in the future. So maybe they do put this one out at $1,000 and say, look, it's a premium device. You have to pay $1,000 for it. And then maybe at some point they'll put out their own version of an Xbox handheld. And maybe then they'll be a bit more aggressive on the price. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's also, you can't underestimate, Microsoft's ability to they are power players in the industry, so I'm sure some deals can be struck, some bulk purchases can be made, because obviously, I mean, a lot of people speculated on the cheap nature of the Steam Deck, and being like, it is crazy cheap for what it is, but it's kind of like, well, it's Valve, they have as many inroads as humanly possible in the industry, so very interesting. That is the most interesting thing to come out of that. A lot of fun looking games other than that, but I mean, the handheld stuff is going to be the real thing to watch going forward. And Silksong, I guess. That's going to do it for this stream, and that's going to do it for Summer Games Fest. Thank you for watching. It's been a lot of fun, even though the streams have been ho-hum. I think we've had some fun watching them, which is always the main thing. It's always why I try and make some time to watch this E3 Summer Games Fest type stuff, because you'll either see some cool stuff or you at least have some fun watching some lame stuff. It's usually worth your time. Thanks for watching, pals. I do appreciate it. Bumper stream week this week. We'll be back whatever Wednesday on Wednesday. I downloaded a demo that was on one of the Keighley events. I've already forgotten what it was. So we've got a game lined up. We've got a couple of things from the Discord lined up. And then Half-Life rolls on Thursday. So I will see you all there. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. Don't be too sad because the workday begins tomorrow. Don't get the Sunday scaries. Go out and pre-order yourself an Ally or something. I don't know. Treat yourself to a little $1,000 computer. I will talk to you fine folks again on Wednesday, and of course in the Discord in the meantime. Peace out.